أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وجعلوا لله مما ذرأ من الحرث والأنعام نصيبا فقالوا هذا لله بزعمهم وهذا لشركائنا فما كان لشركائهم فلا يصل إلى الله وما كان لله فهو يصل إلى شركائهم ساء ما يحكمون. In this verse, Allah Ta'ala makes mention of a practice of the mushrikeen, the kuffar of Makkah al-Mukarramah. Allah Ta'ala mentions, وَجَعَلُوا لِلَّهِ مِمَّا ذَرَأَ مِنَ الْحَرْثِ وَالْأَنْعَامِ نَصِيبًا. That they used to fix a portion of the crops and a portion of the animals for Allah Ta'ala from what Allah Ta'ala created. Allah created the crops, Allah Ta'ala created the animals, but one portion they used to fix, they used to say this is for Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala further says, فَقَالُوا هَذَا لِلَّهِ بِزَعْمِهِمْ وَهَذَا لِشُرَكَائِنَا. They would say that this is for Allah Ta'ala according to their estimation. Those crops that were not the good crops, they would say that these crops are for Allah Ta'ala. And these crops, meaning the good crops, these are for our deities, these are for our idols. فَمَا كَانَ لِشُرَكَائِهِمْ فَلَا يَصِلُ إِلَى اللَّهِ. Allah Ta'ala says that what was for their deities, that will not reach Allah Ta'ala. Meaning that what was for their deities, that it wasn't enough. What was not enough for their deities, they would take from the side of Allah Ta'ala and they would put it over here. وَمَا كَانَ لِلَّهِ فَهُوَ يَصِلُ إِلَى شُرَكَائِهِمْ. And what belonged to Allah Ta'ala, that would reach their deities. سَاءَ مَا يَحْكُمُونَ. This was an evil decision that these people used to make. So whenever the side of Allah Ta'ala, if there was less crops, they will not take from the deities and put this side. And the opposite way they would do. So Allah Ta'ala says this is an evil decision that these people make. وَكَذَلِكَ زَيَّنَ لِكَثِيرٍ مِّنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ قَتْلَ أَوْلَادِهِمْ شُرَكَاؤُهُمْ يُرْدُوهُمْ وَلِيَلْبِسُوا عَلَيْهِمْ دِينَهُمْ. Allah Ta'ala further says that similarly, that their deities, their partners, they beautified the killing of their children for many of the mushrikeen. That these mushrikeen of Makkah, they used to bury their daughters alive and they used to sacrifice their sons for their deities. So their deities had beautified the killing of their children for these mushrikeen. Today also the killing of the children is taking place, but it takes place in a very, very sophisticated manner. It is done in the form of abortion, it is done in the form of birth control. This is also regarded as killing of children, but it's done in a very sophisticated manner. لِيُرْدُوهُمْ وَلِيَلْبِسُوا عَلَيْهِمْ دِينَهُمْ. And why would their deities make them do all this? So that they will destroy them, and so that they will confuse upon them their deen and their religion. Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مَا فَعَلُوهُ فَذَرْهُمْ وَمَا يَفْتَرُونَ. That if Allah Ta'ala had desired, then they wouldn't have done this. But Allah Ta'ala allowed them to continue. So Allah says, فَذَرْهُمْ, leave them alone. And whatever they are inventing, leave these kuffar. Allah Ta'ala in His knowledge knows best, and Allah Ta'ala will deal with them. وَقَالُوا هَذِهِ أَنْعَامُ وَحَرْثٌ حِجْرٌ. They used to say that these animals and these crops are prohibited. So certain animals, certain crops were prohibited. Who would eat it? لَا يَطْعَمُهَا إِلَّا مَنْ نَشَاءُ بِزَعْمِهِمْ. That none will eat these animals and these crops except who we desire according to their estimation. So they will say who must eat these animals, who must eat these crops. وَأَنْعَامٌ حُرِّمَتْ ظُهُورُهَا. And there were animals whose backs were made haram. Meaning these animals, you mustn't put your goods on these animals, you mustn't ride these animals. وَأَنْعَامٌ لَا يَذْكُرُونَ اسْمَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهَا افْتِرَاءً عَلَيْهِ. And they were animals that they would not take the name of Allah Ta'ala. Meaning when they would slaughter the animal, we will take the name of Allah and slaughter. But there were animals, they won't take the name of Allah Ta'ala upon it at the time of slaughtering. And this they done inventing a lie upon Allah. They would say that this is the command of Allah, that when we slaughter the animal, we mustn't take the name of Allah Ta'ala. So Allah Ta'ala said, سَيَجْزِيهِمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَفْتَرُونَ. That Allah Ta'ala will soon punish these people because of the lies that they're inventing. From here we come to understand that the kuffar, when they get involved in the kufr, when they get involved in the shirk, when a mu'min, he gets involved in the disobedience of Allah Ta'ala, then to what level the mind and the brain of a person stoops, that he cannot even think correctly any longer. And these are the type of things that people then get involved in. We'll continue from here, inshallah.